and they want more Bitcoin. They want more Bitcoin returns, and they want leveraged Bitcoin exposure, right? And so I think that the issuing equity, issuing debt to buy more Bitcoin in a way where they're borrowing money for 5 years at 1%, at 0%, at 2% interest, right? And the point is that they're not even really paying that debt down because it's just converting into new shares of common stock, right? So Bitcoin per fully diluted share is going up. The solvency ratios are going up as they continue to dilute their shares, and the shareholders cheer for it.
There's the latest from Donald LeClaire. We'll hear more from him before this video's out. We got a lot going on. Before we get to anything, go ahead and check us out at Bitcoin Bros 101. Once again, all of our learning links, ebooks, crash courses, all of our social links, premium Patreon pass. If you want to join the Bitcoin Bros Patreon, one of the fastest growing communities in crypto, we appreciate all your support. And then this is major news. We had Donald Trump with the landslide win, but look what happened. We had 200 billion today go into the crypto markets after Trump won. So there's no more uncertainty. The market has decided, and Bitcoin has made a move as well. At the current time it's recording, Bitcoin is up to 75.7K, reached all the way up to over 76,000 today. So new all-time highs for Bitcoin. So in the previous video, what did I tell you? I told you on this pullback, this is a daily chart. I said we blinked below this 20 moving average before, but we blasted up straight through it. So be very wary that we're going to come down lower. We could have came down and retested this Gaussian channel around the $65,900, $66,000 range. We didn't get there. Look what happened. The market has spoken. So we told you to use this as a buying opportunity. Did you buy this dip? The market capitalization for the overall crypto market cap is up to $2.52 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is almost up to 60. Ethereum dominance almost up to 13. Massive moves. Top gainers in the market over the past 24 hours. What do we see? Top gainers, we see Uniswap coming in at 32%, Radium coming in at 32%, Aave coming in at 27%, Celestia 22%, Injective 22%, Maker 19%, Phantom 17%, Render 15%, Solana 14%. Major moves on the market. Taking a look at the overall total crypto market capitalization, we've showed you this chart before in previous videos, but we also have noted we came up and hit this line once. We had that McDonald's peak for the 2021 peak, hit this once and twice. So you got to respect this level. Now look where this level's up to right now. That's $9 trillion. So if we just double click this and extend this to the right and just let that play out how it's going to play, the market cap, if it comes up to this level before the end of 2026, could be hitting around that $10 trillion threshold if we have a continuation to the upside. Now, soon into the price action, we can see that this seems to be a huge bull flag that just started to play out. We came back tested it. This is a bullish hammer, and look what happened. We have not in new all-time high territory yet from this peak up here, but if we just look at this and we pull this down from here to the peak and then pull this up to the breakout, where this take us up to, this would take us up to roughly, breakouts here, this would take us up to not quite 10 trillion, but you'd be looking at almost a $6 trillion threshold, 5.8. So that's about almost a 2.5x from where we are right now. So still a lot of gains to be made in this market. So we hope you're prepared. We got a presidential body that is definitely pro-crypto. The House, the Senate is pro-crypto. And also we are cutting rates. So we're in a rate cut cycle. So quantitative easing will be had behind the scenes. Will 2025 be what everybody has imagined? MicroStrategy, we've told you this before as well at the current time it's recording, coming in at 259 post-market. If you want to see post-market updates, you can take a look at Robinhood. Robinhood has the current price for MicroStrategy, even when the market's closed. TradingView stops tracking it after some time, but 259 post-market. And what do we see? We told you, once again, we flipped out of this bullish channel. We came out, we flipped this resistance to support and broke out. and came back down and back tested this 20 moving average. Once again, these circles are from the previous video. We told you to buy right here. This was a load up zone. You know, Bitcoin bros bought this as a load up zone down the low 220s, and look what happened. If you're doing call options, you definitely would be in the green. So look here. Are we going to get back above the previous all-time high at 267? That could be right around the corner. Once again, it's indicative of what Bitcoin does, but everything is looking to the upside for the entire market. My MicroStrategy MSTR tracker added a few new fields. Definitely check this out. You know, their overall Bitcoin balance, ownership of 21 million Bitcoins. They have 1.2% of Bitcoin that's ever going to exist. And remember, they have that $42 billion of Bitcoin they're going to be buying over the next 3 years. So keep that in mind. Market capitalization is up to $52 billion. Remember, a 20x makes us $1 trillion market capitalization, which that can definitely happen. Bitcoin price 76,000. And right here, you see the NAV is up to 2.7 once again. The interesting thing to pay attention to on this chart is you see the 80 range and the 100K range, and you see these NAV, trend lines. You got the green trend line and this sort of logarithmic trend line, the orange trend line. So they tend to differentiate from the 2.7 NAV premium. So it'll be interesting to see once we get to this range here, the 80 to 100K, where this NAV goes. Will it follow these trend lines, or will it still just trade sideways? Once again, time will definitely tell. And look at this Solana chart. If this isn't textbook bullishness, then I don't know what is. The altcoins could be getting ready to rally as well. As we showed you, there's a lot of top gainers over the past 24 hours, and alt season could be right around the corner. Look at Solana. This is the previous all-time high. Now, when these alts have their rallies, they tend to blast past the previous highs and don't look back. So seeing Solana at a 400, 500, 600, up to $1,000 valuation or more is not out the cards. So we hope your bags are prepacked. We've been telling you this the past 6 to 8 months. These are load up periods. This was all buying opportunities, and you see this definitely looks bullish and a continuation to the upside. We hope you're prepared. So without further ado, let's hear from Dylan LeClaire and hear the latest on his take on the MicroStrategy Bitcoin game plan.
They want more Bitcoin. They want more Bitcoin returns, and they want leveraged Bitcoin exposure, right? And so I think that the issuing equity, issuing debt to buy more Bitcoin in a way where they're borrowing money for 5 years at 1%, at 0%, at 2% interest, right? And the point is that they're not even really paying that debt down because it's just converting into new shares of common stock, right? So Bitcoin per fully diluted share is going up. The solvency ratios are going up as they continue to dilute their shares, and the shareholders cheer for it. And so the point they made on the earnings call was, everybody's having this debate on like, well, here's a premium, and here's a net asset value, and it's irrational. It's not irrational. We're a growth company. We're a tech company. How do you value a company that's gone from 1 billion to 50 billion in 4 years? In Q1, when FASB was adopted, they're going to have a $10 billion earnings print. It's like the biggest rate of the biggest quarter over quarter change in earnings in the history of capital markets. So like the real crazy take is when you think about FASB adoption and this Bitcoin treasury strategy, you have essentially kind of like a merging of the PE multiple world and this new corporate Bitcoin treasury strategy world, right? Where the debate around MNAV, market cap to net asset value and all this stuff sort of merges with the world of PE ratios, right? If MSTR, think about if Bitcoin goes to whatever you think it does in 2025. Do you know the earnings per share that MicroStrategy is going to record in that scenario? Do you know that equity market investors and all these passive flows are going to value that at a multiple of the current earnings? And so this is entirely unprecedented. This is like the MicroStrategy team is writing the history books right now. And so we don't know what comes next. But I think, based on the last 4 years, past results don't equal future performance. But it's clear there's an insatiable amount of demand for these Bitcoin-backed securities, equity securities and debt securities. And no one in the world can offer what they are offering. A hedge fund can't offer it, a bank can't offer it, a public operating company that's 130% exposed to Bitcoin on their balance sheet can, right? So it's super unique. It's really not understood even by like very, very smart, respected, finance pros. So I think there's still a ton of opportunity, and remarkably, it's still like, only like the third inning here.